Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at Transformers Generation 1 Decepticon Reflector. Now, we'll start off by saying this is a knockoff. The original Reflector was only ever a mail away in America, never got a release in the UK, and in Japan it came out in a box similar to this one, but obviously the writing was in Japanese. So if you see this box, it's pretty much screaming knockoff at you straight away because it doesn't exist. So although this is a knockoff, I will say this is absolutely phenomenal as far as quality goes. It definitely holds up against the Takara reissues, and I'd say it's probably a little better than your average Hasbro reissue. So on the front we can see we've got little windows, and you can see there Spectra, Viewfinder and Spyglass. Taking a look at the top of the box, we can see that's the transformation into his camera mode. Down here we've got the tech specs. Now originally on the US version the tech specs would have been inside the instructions. It's even got 1984 Hasbro on the bottom there. Inside the box we get original style styrofoam tray with all the little pieces in. We've got Spectra, Viewfinder, Spyglass. We've got the little camera lens, we've got the flash. We've got 3 guns and we've got 3 missiles. We even get a tech spec decoder, 2 sticker sheets which I have applied already, and also to note on this set the rub sign actually comes as a separate sticker, so you've got to put that on yourself. And we also get a very faithfully reproduced set of instructions, just like the G1 style ones. On this little panel we can see a little spelling mistake there. Carefully remove pieces from the plastic frame. So the first guy we're going to look at is Spectra. Now he's very small, but he's pretty nice. This front chest panel is all die-cast metal. We've got chrome parts. Even the plastic bits down there are nicely done. He has a little button on his head. I'm vaguely sure that was supposed to click originally, but it doesn't on this one. Most of his sticker detail seems to be on the back, but the way he transforms actually means he's one of the most articulated Transformers in the G1 line. You've got bending knees and legs that move. You can move his arms, you can bring them forward. Now this is his gun, this is the shutter gun, and it's got a very tiny little peg on there. So I want to be careful with that, but it does fit in there very nicely. Overall, absolutely no issues with this one whatsoever. Next up we've got Spyglass, and he's very similar to Spectra. He's a sort of backwards version of him. And we've even got Hasbro and Takara 1983 markings on all these. So spotting a genuine one faced with these knockoffs is going to be pretty difficult. And the paint job on the metal, I'm not quite sure if it's like that on the original, but it's sort of the kind of missed little bits just in the grooves. But it's hardly noticeable really. Now this one, his knees bend forward, so you can't do quite the same thing with this one. But you can bring his legs up, and his arms will turn. He's also on a strange angle, so when you move his arms they go outwards. And this is his gun, this is the Opto Blaster. And again, very small peg. This one is a little bit tighter, but it does hold. Finally, this is Viewfinder, and this is pretty much how Reflector looked in the cartoon. There was 3 of this guy when he split up, and this is the one that has the most issues really. This little peg here was too big to fit, so I did have to file that down, but you can barely tell I've done a decent job on that one. This arm is a little bit loose, but this one's nice and tight, so you can hold the weapon at an angle and it's not going to droop. And this is his gun, this is the lens laser. Now this one fits on the side of his hand rather than on the top, and with this arm being quite tight you can pause it a little bit. You're also supposed to be able to attach this, but as you can see it doesn't really fit that way, and if you did it the other way then it doesn't lock in really, and it's just going to rattle around, but it is in the instructions. There is another little flaw with this guy. He actually comes with an Autobot rub symbol. And the final accessory we get is this old style flash cube that actually doubles as a missile launcher. And it has a spring and it fires. It's a little bit temperamental, as you can see. It's not that easy to do, but when you get it to work it certainly does fire. Now this has a peg that should allow you to put it into the hands of any of the little robots, but unfortunately It's just marginally too big, so they can't actually hold it. So we've got the team all assembled now, so let's put him into his camera mode. So first off, we've got to get rid of all the guns, because they serve no further purpose. Just being very careful with the pegs, because they are quite small. Then what we do, we take the first one, and we fold him up into a little box, just like that. Then we take Spyglass, and we do pretty much the same thing, only in reverse. And we fold him all up like that. Bring his arms around the back. You can turn the head round if you so desire, but you're going to cover it with the flash cube, so it doesn't really matter. And finally, for viewfinder, what we do is we slide his arms in, and that covers his head up. There's a little clicky bit there. And then we take these legs, bring them round to the back. That one clicks in, the other one doesn't seem to for some reason, but it does stay in position. And that gives us that little section. So then what we do is we combine the three. Now it was this peg here that I filed down, and that goes into that part there. So we've got to slowly put that onto there, and then line that up with that part and lock it in place. And you can see that fits quite nicely now. And same on the other side. This one doesn't fit quite as well because I haven't filed it, but it does go in. And then on the back we line all the arms and legs up. And to finish off the camera look, we attach this to the front. It's a shame this doesn't have glass in it as well, because it looks a bit odd with that just being empty. And we take the old style flash cube and stick it on the top there. And that is Reflector in his camera mode. He is very, very small. And another thing I noticed, that little red section there isn't quite the same red as on the other three. Which, if that bothers you, then fair enough. But for the price, this is an excellent buy. So I've got to say, for a knockoff, this set is absolutely superb. Highly recommended. When you consider an original one in a box is going to cost you probably 4 or 5 times what the knockoffs cost. So this has been Luke with G1 Reflector. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.